Hello, my name is Scott for SP Gaming and welcome back to Flight Simulator Friday. Today we are going to do the Hawaiian checkout, enjoy the scenery and your instructor's local knowledge on a checkout flight from Molokai to Maui. Estimated time to complete 45 minutes. We will be flying a Mooney M20M Bravo. Objectives to land at Hana Airport. And I have done this mission a number of times and it always ends up in failure. I always crash into some trees at the Hana Airport. It is really annoying. Bothers me. That's the nicest way to say it. They have trees growing right up to the end of the runway. And you have to come in basically at a steep angle and then drop your speed with spoilers, brakes. I have no idea exactly how it's done. And yeah, you have to stop. The last time I tried this, I landed, I went off the runway into the trees and crashed. And yeah, you can come in on the landing runway in a number of different ways. You can come in the direction you're flying and you have to deal with trees, or you can come in over the water, and if this made sense, they would have had that cleared so you can come in, fly in, nice easy landing and no problems. But yeah, anyway, you're vacationing in the Hawaiian Islands and you've decided to rent a Mooney Bravo from a local fixed base operator, FBO, at the Molokai Airport. Before you can take the plane up alone though, you need to be checked out by a flight instructor. This mission begins on the ramp at Molokai Airport, PHMK, with the instructor on board. He's lived in the islands his whole life, so the flight will be more of a scenic tour than a test. Explore the islands a bit as you fly east to Hana Airport, PHHN on Maui. And it says before flying this mission, you might want to fly tutorials 1 to 5. Unfortunately, for some reason, tutorials 1 to 5 did not prepare me to do this mission. Anyway, let's go to details. The flight takes place under visual flight rules. Your planned route takes you from Molokai Airport, KMKK, on Molokai direct to Hana Airport, PHNM. Really? KMKK? PHMK. Okay, something's going on here. In East Hana Airport, PHHN. KHNM. Yeah, right, about this. The direct route from Molokai to Hana is loaded into the GPS, and there are 5 navigational aids in the area: the Molokai VOR, the Lanai VOR, the Lanai NDB, the Maui VOR, and the Valley Island NDB. And your instructor will encourage you to explore along the way. Highlights of the trip include finding Kaua Falls on the north shore of Molokai, flying over Haleakala volcano at the east end of Maui, seeing humpback whales, and yeah. There's a few detours that you can take, or you can fly directly straight and just get to your destination. I might just do that just because reasons. And suggested reading. Let's see, controlling the engine. Is there anything that would have been useful to me? Maybe controlling the engine. Alright, well, anyway, here's the maps and charts. I'm really annoyed. Okay, so this is Lanai. We start here and we fly over this way. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, we fly this way. Our rate will take us across here. And then there is an airport here where planes can land. And planes can also land from this direction as well. And our destination is here. And yeah, so let's fly.
Since this is a checkout flight, you get to do all the flying. To make it easier, I'll handle the radios. Let's get out of here before the lunchtime rush. Once we're airborne, I'll fill you in on where we'll go.
Alright.
Molokai ground, Mooney 123, Mike Sierra, on the ramp with Lima. Ready to taxi, northeastbound.
Mooney 123, Mike Sierra, taxi to runway 5 via taxiway Alpha.
Runway 5 via Alpha, 3 Mike Sierra. Okay, release the brakes and turn right onto taxiway Alpha.
Alright, that would be this way.
Not to toot my own horn, but I've lived in Hawaii my whole life, and I used to be a tour guide, so you picked the right guy to fly with. This should be a lot of fun. Hawaii's a beautiful place, and there's no better way to see it than from an airplane. Better slow down a bit. You shouldn't taxi any faster than you can walk. By the way, this isn't a test. It's just a chance for you to get acquainted with the local area and procedures. After this flight, you'll be able to rent an airplane from us and fly on your own.
17, approaching 35.
We're cleared across runway 1735. So look both ways, then go ahead and taxi across.
All right, I'm good to go. Things up here. Interesting. I'll have to take a closer look at those. Look like I can click on something up there. Alright.
Approaching 0,
Okay,
5.
stop here and I'll get our takeoff clearance. Molokai Tower,
Right, so...
Mooney 123, Mike Sierra, ready to go. Runway 5.
What do we have
Mooney
up
3,
here?
Mike Sierra, cleared for takeoff. Wind 049er at 7.
Cleared for takeoff, 3 Mike Sierra. All set? Let's go
lanes.
flying. Take off and maintain runway heading. Rotate at about 65 knots in this airplane.
Oh, okay. Take off at 65. Alright, here we go.
On runway 05, flaps, flaps.
Let's go full flaps. And 40, 50 knots, 60, 65, and let's pull back on the stick, and we're off.
A good climb speed in this airplane is about 90 knots. Keep the throttle full and adjust pitch to maintain 90 knots.
All right. There we go.
Nice takeoff. If you look at the GPS, you'll see that I've entered a flight plan to Hana on Maui. That's where we're headed. You don't have to fly that route. I'm in no rush, so feel free to explore along the way. There might be some whales in the channel between Molokai and Maui. You can fly wherever you want, and I'll tell you about some of the things we fly over. If I can make a suggestion, you might want to start by continuing offshore a bit, then following the north shore of Molokai to the east. You'll get a great view of some spectacular cliffs. Climb as high as you want. When you level off, don't forget to bring the power back.
Actually, let's raise the flaps. Yep. All right, there we go. Now. Oh, bother. Alright, so we're flying. Nope, never mind. Hana Airport is off in that direction. And we have an airport down there. Alright, we're getting up to our first point of interest.
That's Kalaupapa Peninsula up ahead. It has an interesting history. In 1873, a Belgian priest named Father Damien arrived to care for 600 sufferers of Hansen's disease who had been banished there. Today, the peninsula is a National Historical Park, and there's still a small settlement. The only access to the peninsula is by mule trail or airplane. That's Kalaupapa Airport on the point. Right next to it is Molokai Light, the tallest U.S. lighthouse in the Pacific Ocean.
Interesting. And looks like that was the lighthouse that they're referring to.
Flaps.
No.
Flaps.
We're good. Let's do a low flyby. And yeah, that looks like lighthouse. Let's give it a bit more juice. And get back onto course. Although at this rate, I'm probably going to want to climb. I'm going to try to fit through that valley there, right here. We're at 1,400 feet, 137 knots. Let's get some more altitude.
Along this coast are the highest sea cliffs in the world. The tallest ones are 3,600 feet above the water. There have been a lot of theories about the North Shore of Molokai, but geologists now think that the cliffs were sculpted by waves. Whatever it was, the result is pretty spectacular. And you can't see it unless you're on a boat or on an airplane.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there we go. Getting to 3,000 feet. Oh. All right. There we go. I'm learning how to use the trim, although it is very tricky. Let's get some more altitude just because. we're flying a little bit close to the... and we're flying a little bit off course. But it's all good. There we go. So Lanai is over there, or Lanai, depending on how you pronounce it. Maui's off there in the distance. Interesting. Those roads go from the coast inland. That must be a volcano there. Except part of it has been eroded away. We're at 5,000 feet above sea level.
That's Palilolo Channel down there. It's 8.5 miles wide between Molokai and Maui. Believe it or not, over the years, 16 people have actually swum across. Humpback whales like to swim through these channels too. They come down here from Alaska in the winter to give birth to their young in the warm waters, then swim back for the summer. If we keep our eyes open, maybe we'll see one.
Having done this a number of times, I have not come across the humpback whales. Of course, I doubt you would necessarily see them. But you never know. Let's descend. Whoa! Yep, we're going a little bit too fast. Figured as much.
Maui is the state's second largest island. It was formed by two volcanoes, Haleakala, which is over 10,000 feet tall, and another one which formed the West Maui Mountains. The valley between the mountains used to be underwater, but over time the valley floor rose to form Maui as it looks today. Some people say that if the polar ice caps melted, the valley would be underwater again. People on Maui like to say, Maui no ka oi. Maui is the best. Even from up here you can see that it's a pretty special place.
Well, when it comes to the polar ice caps melting, I doubt the sea level would rise very much. You can do the experiment if you want. Put some ice cubes in a glass of water. Set it out, and you won't find that the level of the water will have risen once the ice cubes have melted. There is a lot of air in ice, therefore there's not going to be a catastrophic rise in the sea level, contrary to what the alarmists might say.
That's the small town of Lahaina down below. In the early 1800s, it was the capital of Kamehameha's Hawaiian kingdom. Eventually, the capital moved to Honolulu, but Lahaina was still booming, mostly as a stopover for whaling ships. In those days, more than 500 whaling ships stopped at Lahaina every year. Today, tourism is the main industry. Lots of great shops and restaurants down there, not to mention one of the world's largest banyan trees.
All right. Try to get to even. Right about there. Yeah, you gotta love FSX's terrain and scenery. Alright, there's something I want to test out. Now. Which button did I map to? Those are the... I have no idea what they are. Oh, that's a... Okay. Alright, that's the speed brake. That will help me to slow down on the runway when we land. And there's an Airbus A321. It's about 3.8 nautical miles away, 3,700 feet above sea level. And so what I want to do, this GPS course is going to take me out to about here, and then it's going to have me turn back. There's the airport is down here. I'm just going to skip up this way. We are going to just cut around and follow this flight path, and then I'll probably cut because the flight path takes us that way again. Although I might just, yeah, cut it completely. Let's give it a little bit more juice. I'm tired of flying this mission.
If you want to see Haleakala and the observatory on top, you'd better start climbing now. The mountain tops out at 10,000 feet above sea level.
That's up there. We're not going to do it, just because reasons. And the airport is off in that direction. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, wherever that Airbus is going. And yet you can see the PAPI lights, I think they are, right there. So the runway is right about there. But we're not going there. We could land, but
See that airport at the north end of the valley? That's Kahului. Hundreds of tours arrive there every day from all over the world. We could land there, but it's pretty busy with all the airliners. So let's just keep heading east to Hana.
all right. Any planes coming? All right. And there's that Airbus right there. Oh, let's pull back on the speed. Yeah, that's what a proper airport's supposed to be. Like, yeah, at Hana Airport, the trees are like right up against the end of the runway. It's very difficult to land there. Alright, let's bank right and head on to our final destination. So when I land, I'm going to want to have full flaps. I don't know if you're supposed to use the speed brake during the descent. I know that there's the speed brake. There is the lift dump, and there is the what was the other one? Unfortunately, I could only find the controls for the what was it, the spoiler or the speed brake. But the lift dump allows you to descend really quickly. So in the event of a landing strip like we are going to be landing on, you can land properly and not crash at the end of the runway. You'll see how much I hate this airport. And one thing we are going to want to do is we are going to want to come in at an angle, just because this goes straight to Hana Airport, but the airport is at a kind of an angle like that. So if you follow this GPS path, you are not going to have a proper angle to land. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with that. .8 nautical miles to Hana Airport. It is at 128 feet above sea level. We're currently at 3,900 feet. And my plane just seems to want to climb. I don't want to climb. Alright, so we see Hana Airport up in the distance. This is such a painful landing. I've literally done this flight 3-4 times. 3 times at a minimum, possibly a 4th time. This is probably my 5th time doing this. All because of landing and hitting trees. And let's pull back on the throttle, slow it down just a bit. I'm going to probably want to descend a little bit just so I don't have as much altitude to drop. Alright, so I'm going to want to go parallel to this next course.
The Hana Highway from Kahului to Hana is right down there. It's 52 miles long, has 600 hairpin turns, and 56 one-lane bridges. I know, I've counted.
Yeah, for a island like this, you definitely need a lot of info.
To drive the highway takes almost 3 hours, which is why, unlike the rest of Maui, Hana has remained a pretty sleepy little town. We'll cover the same distance in about 15 minutes.
Alright. Some reason I'm still off course.
I grew up just outside of Hana, right down there. My dad drove me to school every day along the Hana Highway.
Good for you. Alright, so we are getting closer to the airport. We can see the Pappies. Alright. There, we're good. As we approach, I think he'll tell us to go down to 145. We're about 1,600 feet. If we don't make this landing, I'm going to have to kick the throttle up and take off again.
That's Hana Airport up ahead. If you think it's beautiful here, you're not alone. Mark Twain, Jack London, and Charles Lindbergh all fell in love with Hana. In fact, Lindbergh spent the last years of his life in Hana, and his grave is right around here. The locals get annoyed by all the airplanes circling it, so let's just head for the airport and land. As you approach the airport, slow to 140 knots or less, and lower the landing gear. You can use the speed brake if you need to get down in a hurry. Lower the flaps as you continue slowing. You want about 75 knots on final.
All right. Let's see if we can do this. And I think we've overshot it. Let's drop the landing gear.
Flaps. Flaps. Approaching 08.
And as you can see, the trees are really, really annoying.
Unstable. Unstable.
All right. More flaps. Drop the throttle down. And put on the brake. There we go. Sliding off the runway.
1,000 feet remaining.
Too bad we didn't see any whales. It's hard to know exactly where to find them.
I was more concerned about my landing. All right. Oh no.
On runway 26. Flaps, flaps. Flaps, flaps.
What's going on? All right. Onto the taxiway. That alarm or whatever it is annoying. Why is it? All right. Are we good?
Well, you did a great job. All checked out as far as I'm concerned. Let's grab a bite in town, then we'll head back to Molokai.
All right. Success! Oh, that landing. Yeah, those trees at that end of the runway should be chopped down. They should be... Someone with a chainsaw, just take them down, because they are really frustrating. And over that side, same thing. At least cut the tops of the trees off, because I really was irritated. I've done this mission 3 or 4, now 5 times, and yeah. But I did it, finally. I utilized the speed brake, and I think it might have helped. I used full flaps, which I don't think I've done in previous flights on this, and yeah, so thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Flight Simulator Friday. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SB Gaming, and as always, have a good day.